gender reveal parties?
I'm going to say no, ever. I think we've even done this before, haven't we?
I don't think so.
Not only do they burn down the state of California, they're stinking stupid. Like, it is so dumb. It is so dumb. I'm all about finding the gender out before.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I found my daughter out before birth, just because to me, it's a surprise then too. Like, who cares about like this?
You're going to get the surprise and be able to plan for it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Like, you get a surprise and then you plan for your surprise. Right. Exactly. Whereas, drawing it out, but I also totally appreciate the people who don't find out. Great.
Right.
Don't find out, be shocked that moment. I totally see how that would be such a, whatever, like awesome. Finding out what you're having and then doing a dumbass thing in order to showcase what you're having is dumbass.
Nobody wants to go to parties anyways. Nobody wants to go to a baby shower. Nobody wants to go to a bridal, whatever. Like,
why make a production? Who cares?
The gender reveal is the lowest on the rung of all of those types of parties. Nobody wants to be there. It is so narcissistic to think that anybody would care. I mean, people might care to get a text message about it. They don't want to spend a Saturday going and eating some cake and playing stupid games.
Imagine the party industry. When the gender reveal party finally became a thing, how hyped they were. You got another week. Now we've got Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween.
They had
birthdays.
To have designed it themselves.
Of course. I mean, it's like Valentine's Day. It's like a holiday, or Mother's Day or Father's Day. It's like a holiday that exists that was purely made by the Hallmark industry
to sell greeting cards.
Yeah.
That's it.
And this one was created by the balloon industry or the fireworks industry to sell balloons and fireworks.
And so for those who aren't in the loop with California's news, this is the reason why a lot of our state is burning right now, is because somebody did a gender reveal party where there were pyrotechnics involved to display whether it was going to be pink or blue. And it started a brush fire.
Uh-oh.
And 7,000 acres. I forget what the number is now, but
this is the Yucaipa, or the fire over by Yucaipa, and I don't even know. I mean, there's fatalities now too. The people, I don't know if that fire is responsible for any fatalities, but I think if you do something like that, if you gender reveal and catch stuff on fire, I think you are liable for manslaughter.
I was wondering about that. How could you ever make whole the damage that you've done? I mean, how do you put a dollar value on it, and you would never be able to repay it anyways?
No.
It's in the tens of millions, if not hundred. And how's that kid's legacy? That kid in 20 years from now to be like, it was me, but everybody.
The funniest comment I've read on a Beach Grit is a while. I can't remember who wrote it. Raise your hand. But it was, pyros aren't born, they're made, or are they? Very funny. Very clever. An in utero pyro.
In utero pyro.
Yeah.
Might be the first.
Remember when pyro was a thing? I remember like kids at school who were pyros. Like, did you have any pyros at your school? Like, they'd love to light stuff on fire.
Yeah, they'd be like in the bathroom, like lighting a little, like they got a box of matches and you're like, what? Where'd you get a box of matches?
Totally. Like lighting stuff on fire, like the little pyro kid used to have, I felt, social standing. I haven't neither heard nor seen a pyro in some time.
Couple thoughts on pyros. I'm embarrassed to admit this.
You were a pyro.
No, not a pyro, but we did have this, I think not a proper pyro. There is such a thing as somebody who's like obsessed.
Sure.
I didn't have an obsession.
All kids are pyro. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I hope all kids are
Fire's
pyros.
Interesting as a kid. One thing that my cousin and I did, though, in hindsight, was so reckless. At my grandma's house, who always babysat us, she had these Spanish tiles throughout. And you know how it has like a big divot in between Spanish tile?
Yep.
Like a grout line, essentially, but a grout in a bathroom's thin. This is like probably a full inch, maybe an inch and a half of this kind of divot in between tiles. We would get the Lysol can and spray a pattern, you know, like going, hang a left there, do a right there, go back, make a square, then go that way.
Light it on fire.
And then go down at the end and light it on fire and watch this blue flame run a racetrack through all the tiles.
So sweet.
And he would do one and I would do one, and then we'd light them at the same time and watch them race each other.
It's a good idea.
It was crazy.
Yeah, good idea.
We could have burned the house down.
That's okay.
We figured out, though, like the right amount to do to where, and those are tiles, they're not flammable.
It's not going to get out of control.
Not going into the carpet with it.
No.
Or the drapes.
It's a great idea.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
None of our parents ever found out.
Fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. My other thought with pyros is, you know how you could be racist now without ever doing anything racist?
Sure.
Like if you like say something that somebody interprets as racist, they then vilify you are a racist,
Yep.
even though you never prevented somebody of color from getting a job or burned a whatever, an effigy.
Yeah.
I think about fire all the time.
Are you a latent pyro?
I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I am a pyromaniac. I've just never started a fire.
Wow.
Because I do think about fire. I like fire.
Yeah, fire's fun.
Yeah.
Do you like to make a campfire when you're camping?
Heck yeah.
How do you
I take great pride in it.
How do you stack the wood?
Well, you start with a teepee that has a bunch of like kindling underneath it. If you have a newspaper, that works well. I'll often stop and get a newspaper en route just for that purpose. Yeah, and then you ball it all up so that there's airflow in there, and then you make the teepee of logs, and that's your starter.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, So no barrel on gender reveal. Me neither.
But I'm gonna give pyromaniacs a little wave pool barrel.
There was also this whole series of movies that were like a pyromaniac was like the killer that they were tracking down.
I haven't seen a pyro as a bad guy in a long time.
Yeah.
Decades.
Since the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Barrel or nah, taking a bath.
No.
This is on Kelly's. This was in the very opening of the Tim Ferriss podcast.
He takes long backs, right?
Yeah. He had just gotten out of a 2-hour bath.
So if you're a man in a bathtub, you better have either just broken a bone, and that's the only way you can wash yourself. You better have some real specific reason to be in that bathtub. Otherwise, you're getting the card pulled. Men who take baths, I defy any listener to disagree with me. Men who take baths are problem men.
When was the last bath you had?
Probably when I had my shoulder surgery.
Then how can you speak on it? Maybe you'd love it.
Nope.
Get a book.
Nope. Sitting in a
Bubbles.
tub of water is not we have to draw the line somewhere, David Lee. I'm also going to draw the line at stinking massages. Men don't get massages.
Really?
No, ever.
Oh, man.
Like,
you're missing out.
I mean, no, it's not a manly thing to do. I'm going to say self-care. If you ever refer to anything as self-care, that's a no-no. Toughen up.
Okay. Massages is for a different day. It's too deep a dive. But bathing, taking a bath, soaking your weary bones.
No.
What if in a jacuzzi?
Toughen up, Buttercup. That's what I say. Just feel that pain and say, this is the way a man feels.
So
jacuzzi's okay. If you get in, if you buy a jacuzzi, no. Like if you're at a pool that has a jacuzzi and you go sit in the jacuzzi for a minute, whatever. I'll let that one slide. Bathing in warm water. I'm going to give a couple caveats here. The onsens in Japan, the wellnesses in Switzerland, whatever. Those like hot, thermal, springy kind of places you go. Well, now we're talking James Bond. That is,
it's part of a whole
manly.
spa.
Precisely.
Okay.
Do that.
So that's what I was going to say with the taking a bath is it's not the most efficient way to actually clean your body because you're sitting in your own filth. We've upgraded to showers from the cowboy days when they sat and had to bring like well water and heat it. Yep. So I would say stand up and let your filth roll off your body.
Down the drain.
Use gravity.
Yep.
And then if it's for relaxation purposes, I think that the jacuzzi is the better bet because you've got the pulsation of the jets and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to go nah. But I giggled at the idea of Kelly
in a bath,
soaking in a 2-hour bath before he records a podcast.
Just think how pruny he must have been.
You gotta be.
Yeah. 2-hour bath. Kelly is an environmentalist for shame. Imagine how much hot water he had to go continually put over 2 hours.
I would argue you waste more water in a shower.
No way, Jose. Over a 2-hour bath.
There's only the same amount of water in there from a 1-minute bath or a 2-hour bath.
No, because he's constantly adding hot water to it.
Oh.
To keep it warm, he's not sitting in a cold bath for 2 hours. He was sitting in a hot bath.
I've thought about a bath being a good idea a few times in my adult life. I get in there for 3 minutes.
Boring.
And I'm like, what was I thinking?
You're a man.
I put all this effort into this.
You're a man is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Get out of that bath.
Yeah.
Go be a man.
All right. So we're going nah on taking a bath, Kelly.
Flat.
Hear the words coming out of our mouths. Nah.
Never again, Kelly.
Barrel or nah? Designing a family crest.
No. So big nah.
Okay. Remember back in the day, this is like I feel like it's
For
a
sure.
British thing, maybe. Yeah. Maybe it goes way beyond that.
Mick Fanning has his family crest.
Does he?
Tattooed on his side, I believe. Or the under his, like right here.
Okay.
The inside of the bicep.
This was never an option for my family.
Nope.
But I'm thinking that we need to.
The scales.
It's a cool name.
Sure.
I mean, it's an unusual name, let's say. And I feel like it lends itself to a certain motif. And I kind of like the idea of there being an insignia that goes with your name that, I don't know, I don't get things embroidered, but I would prefer an insignia over my initials or something like that.
I'm all down with a very fine set of sheets, or, you know, if I was ever a millionaire or multimillionaire, I would certainly have all my white button-up shirts with my initials on them. I'm all down.
On the cuff?
Cuff, yeah. I'm all down with that. Family crest is just made up. Like you are borrowing from old times. If like the Fannings of Ireland or wherever his family crest is from, that's also to me like, come on, buddy. Like that is not actually you. You're drawing a real line there. Like, I mean, so I will say the people who are allowed to have family crests are the Windsors, kings and queens of England. If you're a duke, if you are a duchess, if you're nobility of any sort, have your royal crest. For us common people, let's not pretend we're royals here. We are the common folk. We are serfs.
But you can aspire to be.
Yeah, but
you dress for the job you want, not the job that you have.
That's true. So are you going to, I mean, I hear you. But what I would argue, and maybe this is something I'm going to look into now that we're bringing this up. I'm sure you could buy nobility fairly easy someplace. I'm sure I could buy, I don't know how much, but I bet I could be a Bulgarian royal or a Serbian royal maybe, or a...
Yeah, it's on the same website
royal.
That you get certified to ordained to
precisely
preside over a wedding.
So if you want to, I'll say that if you have a real hankering to design a family crest, then figure out how to become a royal first.
Okay. Well, what if you did a 23andMe, did a deep dive into your family tree, and you went back 400 years and you found that your ancestors actually had a family crest at one point? Would you feel any desire to bring that back?
No, because it had nothing to do with me, even though
you care about legacy now. You care about memories and history.
I mean,
memorializing.
I'm just saying that was good for them. If it would have been carried down and would have inferred with it some sort of legacy, but arbitrarily going back, I'm not a fan of arbitrarily going back into the past and plucking things that you feel like, oh, this is cool for now.
All right.
This is a good look for this time. I'm not a barrel.
Well, I was listening. There's this podcast series right now, the Piketon Massacre, about this family in, I don't know, middle America somewhere, backwoodsy. And this family gets massacred, like execution style. And all signs point to a neighboring family that orchestrated it. All of them are implicated, from grandma, kids to grandkids, and they all get arrested. So I'm not through with the series yet, so I don't know how it ends up, whether or not they're actually guilty. But it got me thinking about family vendettas.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hatfields and McCoys was a famous one. And I was like, gosh, my family needs a vendetta. Like, as a family, we don't collectively rally together for much. A vendetta would be a good thing, like a good reason to get worked up together. Who would the other family be?
Who would it be?
I have no idea. We don't have one, but I want to kind of manufacture something.
What about the Basses?
We could take out the basses.
Yeah. I mean, scales versus bass, there's like some nice
I agree.
fish imagery there.
Yeah. I could find some gripes.
Yeah. I feel you should work on really disliking, can't just be Scott. Like, I feel you could look into Scott's family history and figure things out that the basses did that directly affected the scales negatively.
I agree. I want to find out, like, I need to know his ethnic origin first, because there's got to be some wars.
I bet the damn basses at some point built a dam that flooded some scales out of their homes.
For sure.
Yeah.
It must have.
Yeah.
But I love a family vendetta
It's great.
there's higher stakes.
And to have it go multi-generationally too,
Yeah.
like that your great-great-grandfather really hated this great-great-grandfather, and it goes on down through time. Fantastic.
You inherit the hate.
Yeah.
But you know what always ends up happening in every single one of these is like two of the grandkids like sleep together from opposite families.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, exactly. That's another great one.
Yeah, it's the Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah, which is awesome. Because then you're even more like...
I mean, that just only intensifies everything.
Yeah.
Then they're outcasts and the family can continue on hating.
If you had your family crest, though, you could like really... That becomes...
Okay.
You need kind of a visual representation
For sure.
of
Great.
this team versus that team.
I will.
It's on your helmets, on your shields.
Another caveat then, if you're royalty and or have a multi-generational family feud.
Bloodlust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you get a crest.
Yep.
Otherwise, no crest.
The Irons versus the Slaters.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then Jackson Dorian has to take a side. Is he going to go hang out and surf with Axel?
Or is he going to go surf with Kelly?
Loyal to Godfather.
Yeah.
Godfather has wave pools, but Axel has Kauai.
Yeah. I'd take Kauai.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
All right. Well, glad we got to the bottom of that one. So you're going nah on family crest?
I'm going nah all across the board. I'm saying nah on the genders, nah on baths, and nah. This was a flat, just like California's been. So we had a little
Dang.
the other day.
Shocking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, lots in surf news this week. Filled a full 2 hours.
We did.
That was unintentional.
Sorry
it's all
for
right.
the editing.
Lots of editing. Thanks to Album Surfboards. Thanks to Beach Grit for keeping us entertained week in and week out, day in and day out.
It's the people. The people really bring their A games.
All right, Chaz, I don't know what else to say until next week.
Get barrel. See you next Tuesday.